Hello my fellow oddities and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be making one change to every Mortal Kombat character to improve them in some way, big or small. I'm not going to be really considering Mortal Kombat 1 versions of these characters, like that's just kind of a whole separate other thing. I'm mostly considering the NRS era and original timeline, so you know, if I make a change that contradicts something from the Mortal Kombat 1 version of the characters or has already kind of been done in some way with those versions, then it's just how it is. Like, I'm not really considering them. So let's get started straight away because we have a lot of characters to get through, obviously. First we got Scorpion. Scorpion's a hard one because they've done a lot with his character, and you know, he's pretty good. He's probably the most developed character in Mortal Kombat because he's the most popular one. But the change I'd make: finally show his canon backstory on screen. We've never actually seen it within the canon games. We've obviously seen it within Mortal Kombat 2021, the movie, or Mortal Kombat Legacy, or all these different things, but we've never seen it actually play out canon on screen, what actually happened, because Sub-Zero Mythologies was ages ago, and we also didn't get to see his life with the Shiryu. We didn't get to see really what happened when the Lin Kuei invaded the Shiryu, killed them all, stuff like that. So I think we just need a modern game to give us a cutscene or a flashback or something of just showing everything and showing what all happened. Maybe give us like a chapter or something like that where it's all just set back in time in the Sub-Zero Mythology era. I think that would be really cool. And so yeah, that'd be the change I'd make, because a lot of people have misconceptions on what actually happened with Scorpion's backstory, and we need to fix it. Next we got Bi-Han, Sub-Zero, and the change I'd make to him: let him be heroic. This has become an increasingly bad issue with the character in a lot of the media he's portrayed in. He's just not allowed to be a hero in any way. Listen, I'm not saying he should be like a super good guy. I don't really like Bi-Han being a good guy, but I feel like he should still be able to have heroic aspects. I mean, in Sub-Zero Mythologies, he was heroic. He was the hero, the protagonist of that game, yet it feels like as we develop the character on further in the more modern era, he's just always evil all the time, and there's no likable qualities about him, and I don't like that. I already made a whole video about how Mortal Kombat 1 ruined Bi-Han, which is my most popular video, for a reason, because I was very passionate about it. And yeah, let this guy be heroic. Let him, if he's gonna do evil things, then give him a good reason to do those things. Next character, Liu Kang. Have everyone doubt him, including himself. I think this would fix a lot of the problems people have with Liu Kang being boring. Just add some inner conflict within him and have people doubt him instead of like the glaze that most of the characters have for Liu Kang. I think, you know, just have them have some doubts out there. You know, have people be like, is this really our champion? Is this really the guy that's going to save us from Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung, or whatever? And also within himself, obviously. This is something that's been touched upon, I think, mostly in the 1995 movie, and also Scorpion's Revenge and Battle of the Realms. But, you know, just add more of that. Add that inner doubt within Liu Kang. And I'm going to touch on this a little bit more later when we get to another character. Then we got Raiden. Make him funny. Come on. Like, this has kind of been like a low-key thing within the Mortal Kombat community that some of the more hardcore fans have wanted. Raiden should be like how he was in the 1995 movie in terms of personality. And I think he was also pretty good in Conquest 2. There are some good moments with him, I believe, in, I think it was Scorpion's Revenge, where he can just be cheeky sometimes. And I like that. And they need to bring that back instead of him being super serious all the time. And then we have Johnny Cage, kind of the opposite thing. Stop making him so dumb. Like, he should still be funny, but have him be charismatic. Like, don't just have him be like, oh, he's a big dumb goofus and that's why he's funny. No, actually have him be like a comedian, like how you would see a celebrity be, or an action hero. Like, actually make him feel like he's a charismatic action hero from a movie instead of just like a dumb idiot or a dumb sidekick or something like that, because that's boring. Sonya, give her charisma. Feels like the last three have been kind of like alterations of the same thing. But I hate how a lot of the times Sonya is portrayed as like kind of a mean character, someone that's just like kind of a jerk to Johnny Cage especially, and I don't like that. She can be funny too, she can have her moments. I'm not saying to just completely get rid of all toughness and make her a complete comic relief character. No, that obviously isn't what I want, but I feel like they should, you know, explore it a little bit more instead of making her be, I don't know, like how she is in the 1995 movie or Scorpion's Revenge, where she's just a jerk to people, and it's just kind of it makes her unlikable. Then we got Kano. Kano's pretty simple. Turn him into 2021 Kano. Do I really have to say anything more than that? Everyone loved 2021 Kano. If you just make him how he is in the movie, then we're all good. Hey, just have Josh Lawson come back, voice the character, give him his likeness, all of that. Just make him 2021 Kano, just completely. Then we got Goro. Make him humble, alright? I hate how Goro is kind of... He's a big dumb brute now, and, you know, that's something a lot of people have, you know, criticized, but I feel like people aren't really talking about how Goro would be a lot cooler if he was humble. If he was like, yes, I accept you as a worthy challenger, Liu Kang, or not Cole Young. He shouldn't have been... He shouldn't have been humble towards Cole Young. He should have won that fight. I don't know how he didn't. But, you know, just in general, he shouldn't be, like, evil in that sense. He shouldn't be like, oh, yeah, I want the Earthrealmers to die and all that stuff. He should be humble. He should be like, yeah, I'm doing this for Outworld because I have to. I'm fighting for my realm. He can be confident in himself. Just don't make it so he's just like, I'm going to destroy all of you because I'm Goro and I'm super tough and all that. I don't like that. Then we got Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung, another character kind of like Scorpion, where, I don't know, it feels like he's really good. And I don't know, there's not really much else to do with him. But if I were to make a change, old Shang, in my opinion, is cooler. I like it when he's the old man Shang Tsung, and they should use him more. There's not really much more to it than that. I like the old Shang Tsung storyline and stuff, and I think they should explore it more, because usually he's only old, if old at all, for like one game or even just a small part of a game, and then he's just going back to being young, and I think they should have him be old again. Reptile, it's pretty simple. I mean, this is what most people have said about Reptile. Explore his mission to restore his race. Actually make it like something he strives for and attempts to do, instead of just kind of like saying he wants to do it and then just like not, just like sitting around being a jobber. Yeah, just make it his mission to restore his race. I don't think they really did a good job with that in MK1. I feel like, I don't know, they kind of redirected his motivations entirely into something completely different, and that kind of sucks because I really like his initial motivation, and they should do something with that. Then we got Kuai Liang Sub-Zero. Give him flaws. Alright, let's be honest here. Kuai Liang Sub-Zero is a bit of a, well, what's it called? A Gary Stew. Like, a character that's just like, he's done nothing wrong ever. Like, I don't know, and I don't really like that. I think there should be some more moral conflict. I think I might have given him something in my Bihan video that I just talked about earlier, where I talked about how Mortal Kombat 1 ruined Bihan. I think I gave him something where he did something bad or whatever. Just let this guy do something and screw it up, or do something that's like morally not completely good, because I don't know, I don't like him just being like a Boy Scout. That's boring to me. That's why I like Bihan better. Don't make him exactly like Bihan though. Don't make him like super flawed and super like to the point of where he's like almost a bad guy-ish. Like, don't do that, but just like, I don't know, give him flaws. Then we got Jax. Make him hate his arms. I hate how when they introduce Jax, every single time it's always like, oh yeah, look at these cool upgrades. Yeah, and he just adapts to it completely. No, have him take time to adapt to his new metallic arms. I like what they did with Mortal Kombat 2021, even though obviously the arms were like puny, awful arms, so it's more understandable. But have him be like, these aren't me. I don't feel comfortable using these. Like, I feel broken. I don't feel like I'm completely myself. I like that version of Jax, and I think that that's what they should do. And yeah, I mean, it's just that simple. I think Jax already has a lot of really cool parts of his character that they should explore more, and I think him not being completely 100% about his arms would make him even cooler. Then we got Katana, who looks amazing in this photo, by the way, but I'm not going to be too down bad in today's video. Stop screwing around and let her and Liu be a real thing. It feels like they're just like, I don't know, for whatever reason, not committing to this. Like, I don't know, I think it was supposed to be a thing in like Mortal Kombat 4 after the 1995 movie, and then in Annihilation, and then they just like never really completely went with it. Like in Deadly Alliance, well, I mean, Liu Kang was dead, but I think it was a deception where it was kind of explored. Like there was that one thing with like Liu Kang's soul and all that, and then obviously in MK9 things were rebooted and they kind of hinted at it, but not all the way. Just let them be in a real relationship. I'm sick of them like screwing around. Same thing with MK1, where it's like an alternate version of Katana. Like, just stop being weird. All right, just let us see it. All right. Well, we don't have to see everything. I mean, never mind. Just continue. Mileena, give her a redemption story, and this is kind of going back to what I said at the very beginning. Obviously, Mortal Kombat 1 does kind of give her a redemption story. It's not really a redemption story because she's just kind of like good from the start. But I'm talking about the original timeline Mileena. Have her start out evil and then give her a redemption story where she's like, okay, I'll hang out with Jade and Katana and all those people. Have her be a good guy or a good girl, good woman, good gal. That's probably the best way to say it. Yeah, just give her a redemption story. It's that simple. Kung Lao. All right, this kind of goes back to what I said about Liu Kang. Make him the chosen one, because it makes more sense for Kung Lao to be the chosen one. I'm not saying he should be the savior of Mortal Kombat, the champion of Mortal Kombat. It should still be Liu Kang. But when it comes to what generally people think, I think the person who's the descendant of the great Kung Lao should be the one that's considered the chosen one. So that's why a lot of people doubt Liu Kang, because, I don't know, maybe Kung Lao isn't able to go to the first tournament or something for whatever reason, and he's like the main option, so they have to go with the second option, which is Liu Kang, and people kind of doubt him and are like, this guy isn't our best guy. Is he really going to have a shot at becoming champion? And that's kind of where the doubt comes in. And it could also bring some interesting character dilemmas with Kung Lao being like, oh, that was supposed to be me, that was supposed to be my moment, and yada yada yada. So obviously don't make him like super jealous, because that's never fun, but it's just an interesting little dynamic for his character. So yeah. Then we got Kintaro. Show how he's an outsider from his race. I don't know if this is completely confirmed. I don't really get how the mutation works, but I think it's sort of like Thanos when it comes to Thanos isn't eternal, but he has like some sort of deviant gene or something. I think that's how it works with Kintaro. And just like how Thanos was a outsider from the Eternals, I think Kintaro should be kind of an outsider from the Shokan instead of just kind of being like a part of it. And so I think he should be a bit more like, I don't know, resentful and angry and a loner type character. Obviously, I don't think Mortal Kombat anytime soon is going to explore Kintaro as a character, but I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, then do this. Then we got Shao Kahn. Contingency plans. I'm so sick of Shao Kahn just being a dumb brute who has one plan and one plan only. I'm pretty sure the original intention with Mortal Kombat 2 was that the Mortal Kombat 2 tournament was actually a distraction from what the real plan was in Mortal Kombat 3. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, or if that's just some theory I saw online or something, but that is awesome, and that should have been how it was. Contingency plans. Shao Kahn is smart, not dumb. Let's move on. Smoke is pretty simple. Let him have free will for at least 2 games in a row. Like, if you look back on the series, he's never had free will for 2 games in a row. That's crazy. Moving on though, Jade. Okay, this one's gonna sound kind of crazy, guys, but hear me out. Listen, this isn't some weird fantasy. No, it's not some weird fantasy. Listen, I think this would be a good idea for some other reasons I'm going to talk about later, or I guess I could just talk about them now. Tanya and Mileena should not be in a relationship, because that just wouldn't work with how their characters are. And I get that you can't just delete that relationship because obviously it is LGBT representation within Mortal Kombat. And what? We don't want to have freaking Jade and Kotal again, or God forbid Jade and Kung Lao, which is a ship that people think about. I'm not a shipper, by the way. I'm not one of those weird people. I mean, they're not weird, but you know, I'm not into that, you know. But if you're gonna have Mileena in a relationship, in an LGBT relationship, which I think she should be in, then I think you should put her with Jade. I just think it makes sense for the characters, and I think it would make them more interesting. Yeah, but yeah, let's move on. Noob Saibot, just do things that make sense, all right? Why does Devora kill Scorpion and not Bihan? That was the perfect opportunity. It was a blatant. I just realized he has a hand on his belt in this design. I don't know whose hand that is. That's weird, but it should have been Bihan that killed Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 11. I don't know why they were thinking, we got flack for Devora killing Mileena and Baraka and stuff, so why don't we just have her kill Scorpion, the most popular character in Mortal Kombat as well? That was just buffoonery. It should have been Noob Saibot. Just do things that make sense. This character has so many avenues that are just clear to go down that they just refuse to do for whatever reason. Like, why is he only interacted with Kuai Liang like 2 or 3 times throughout the whole series? Like, come on. Then we got Cyrax. Cyrax, I honestly don't have too much to say about. I think he's a pretty good character overall. The only thing I would say is give him the accent from Mortal Kombat 1. Obviously, I prefer male Cyrax, so I wouldn't want him to be female. But I do like the accent. I do like the... I think it's Jamaican, if I'm correct. But obviously, it shouldn't be Jamaican. It should be... Botswana, because that's where Cyrax is from. I don't know if Botswana has a super unique accent or whatever, but yeah, make him sound like that. Just give him an accent, because I really like that. Then we got Sector. This one might be a controversial one. I think he should just be the Grandmaster from the start. I think he should be like the Lin Kuei Grandmaster, the one that we see in Sub-Zero mythologies. I think that should just be Sector. Just turn him into Sector and merge the 2 characters, because I think him being the son of the Grandmaster doesn't really do anything for him, and I think it makes him cooler if he's like the first one to transform into a cyborg and then everyone else does it, because we don't really know what happened to the Lin Kuei Grandmaster once the Cyber Initiative was initiated. Like, did he turn into a cyborg as well or no? I don't think he did, because in Sector's ending from Mortal Kombat 9, the Lin Kuei Grandmaster wasn't cyberized, so I don't know, it's a bit hypocritical of him to be like, you guys all have to become cyborgs, and then he just doesn't. So yeah, I think Sector should just be the Grandmaster from the start. Then we got Nightwolf. Pretty simple. Feature the female Nightwolf. I think that's a good way to refresh, I guess, her character now. The character. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Just what they should do. Shiva, have her turn against Shao Kahn. Now, I think this might be a thing. If I'm recalling the story correctly, I'm pretty sure she might have been the one to kill Motaro. But that's mostly because of the rivalry between the Shao Kahn and the Centaur. I think the main reason she should turn against Shao Kahn is because of what happens with Sindel. Like, at first, like, she's on board, bringing back the queen, but then once she kind of sees how she's been mind-controlled and manipulated and stuff like that, she kind of falls off board, and then probably helps to restore Sindel to how she should be. And yeah, I think that's a good story for Shiva. Yeah, she didn't really have anything to do in the original timeline, so I think this is pretty interesting. Stryker, lean into the silliness. Yeah, I think he should be kind of like that generic action hero type who has like these catchphrases and stuff. Not like Johnny Cage, but like kind of like Johnny Cage if Johnny Cage wasn't like if he took himself more seriously is basically what I'm thinking of. Just make him like a completely silly like action hero type character where he's surviving these crazy scenarios with all these crazy characters even though he's just a completely regular dude. Yeah, that's kind of the overall appeal with Stryker, and I don't think they should try to make him actually cool because I just don't think that'll ever work for very long. So yeah, just make him silly. Then we got Sindel. This one's not really story related. I think she should be MK3's sub boss, or she should have been MK3's sub boss instead of Motaro. I just think It makes more sense story-wise, and it would be cool for her character. That's really it. Speaking of Motaro, we got him here. And give him a rivalry with Goro. Like I said, I think he had a rivalry with what's her name? Shiva. But I think a rivalry with Goro would be cooler. And it's not really something they've explored. The overall Centaur, Shokan kind of dynamic isn't something they've explored at all. So I think if you give him a rivalry with Goro, that'd be pretty cool because he's a pretty dead character otherwise. Then we got Ermac. Speaking of dead, enough with the zombie / mummy Ermac when it comes to his designs, especially this one. Like, why is his skin white? I hate that. Yeah, just make him a ninja again with normal skin. Like, you can keep the wraps and stuff, the mummy wraps, just don't make him like a zombie with decrepit skin. Then we got Rain. Okay, this one is kind of crazy. I kind of forgot I said this. Listen. Make him Jade's half-brother. We don't know who Argus had the affair with to make Rain. That sounds crazy. But we don't know who the Adenian mortal woman was that Argus had had Rain with. I think it should be Jade's mother. I honestly do. And I think you could kind of have maybe a scare or something. Not a scare, per se, but like, I don't know, just something where it's like maybe Jade starts to think, am I also a demigod along with Rain? Is he my full brother? But then it's revealed in some way that she's not, because that would be stupid. And yeah, I think this would be a pretty interesting thing to do and give a dynamic between Rain and Jade. And also it makes her somewhat related to Taven and Dagon, which I guess is cool because Jade's never really had much to do throughout the series. So yeah, I think this would be a good thing to do for her character, but also Rain's character, because now he's related to one of the more popular characters in the series. Chameleon, just have him do anything. just anything. He could friggin' do a tap dancing routine or something, and just have him do something, man. Then we got a female Chameleon. This is another one that's kind of obvious. Just have her and Reptile interact in some way. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just have Reptile be like, wow, there's another person a part of my race, and Chameleon's like, yeah, that's pretty sick, isn't it? And then that's an improvement to both characters right off the bat. So yeah, Sareena, come on guys, make her and Bihan an actual thing. Like, I don't know what, I've heard some rumors that Bihan and Sector are gonna like have a thing in Mortal Kombat 1. No, I veto that. All right, I know I'm not a high-ranking official within the NRS development team, but I don't care. I'm saying no, that is not happening. It is her and Bihan. It's always been her and Bihan. They just never actually explored it, mostly because they've never been like around at the same time periods besides for mythologies. That's like the only time they've ever actually been able to interact with each other. But still, please make them a thing. Make them a thing. I swear. At some point, all right. If freaking Sareena and Bihan don't meet in Chaos Reigns, the Mortal Kombat 1 DLC, 0 out of 10. Fujin, let him eventually become the protector of Earthrealm. I think that I really don't like that they went back on him becoming the protector of Earthrealm after MK4. I don't know if Rain should become an elder god. That's kind of weird, but I don't know. I feel like the mantle should be passed to Fujin. Then we got Quan Chi. Make him weak. I like Quan Chi as more of a mental threat than a physical one, because, you know, kind of like the Riddler in Batman. Like, I don't like him being like this super tough guy who's able to beat everyone. I don't like him being like the sub-boss of certain games, like Mortal Kombat 1 or MK4, any of that stuff. I just want him to be like kind of more of a mental character who kind of plays tricks on the heroes, is able to manipulate them into certain things, into certain situations. And I like that more for Quan Chi than him being like this super powerful guy who's able to defeat Shang Tsung in a one-on-one fight. That was stupid and deception. Then we got Shinnok. Turn him into Lucifer. I think Shinnok is just not an interesting character at his core. I'm going to be honest. And I think having a devil character, we do know Lucifer existed in Mortal Kombat before Shinnok killed him, And I think if you just make him into Lucifer, maybe have Lucifer be like Belloc or something, who's if you don't know, a scrap character from MK4, maybe give him that sort of design. I think he would just be a lot cooler of a villain than Shinnok. I've never really liked Shinnok at all. Kuai, this is going to be a controversial one a bit. Make him the protagonist of MK4. Listen, Liu Kang, I love Liu Kang, like top 10, maybe top 5 character for me in the franchise, but him being the main character 4 games in a row, I don't know how I feel about that. I think they should have passed down the mantle to Kuai in Mortal Kombat 4. Yeah, I think that would make him a lot more interesting, since otherwise he just exists. He's just there and nobody cares. So yeah, I think this is the best thing to do for him to make him a more interesting character. Then we got Jarek. I think Jarek should be combined with Kano's son, who we figured out about, I believe, in MKX, right? Kano had a son in his ending, and so I think Jarek should just be Kano's son. Yeah, that's it. Then we got Reiko. Make him smart. I don't know why. I don't know why we're still doing the whole Reiko is dumb thing after Mortal Kombat 2021, and everybody hated him. And you know, Mortal Kombat 1 obviously wasn't as bad as like screaming nonsensical Reiko, but it was still like kind of like he's kind of like a mute. He kind of has no personality, and I just want him to be like conniving, like kind of like a mini Shao Kahn, quite literally. Like, just I want him to create these battle plans, create contingency plans, stuff like that. I want him to act smart and be able to trap the heroes into certain situations to where they're compromised. So, yeah. Tanya, make her relationship with Mileena toxic. I kind of touched on this earlier. Tanya is not a good character. She is not a hero. Alright, I know MK1 tried to make her into be, but at her core, originally, she is not a hero. She is a full-fledged villain. She is manipulative. She is a traitor to Adenia, to pretty much everything. And her relationship with Mileena should not be an actual thing. It should be fake. It should be a relationship she entertains only to get other stuff that she wants. And then Mileena, like I said earlier, should have a relationship with Jade, where Jade is kind of the one that actually loves her. So, yeah. I think that would be better and more fit to the characters. Moving on, we got Meat. Meat, I've already made a whole video about how you can improve Meat, but if I had to make just one change, because in that video, I made a bunch of changes. Make him MK's horror character, just make him, I don't know, stop making him a joke character and actually take him seriously. And then create him into like this horror kind of character where he's like scary, and like you shoot him in any like cutscenes, you kind of use the camera effectively to make him just scary and take him seriously is mostly what I'm getting at here. Tremor is simple. Just put him in more games. I don't think anyone really dislikes anything about Tremor. His design is great. His moveset everyone loves. His personality, I mean, he doesn't really have much of one now, but from what we've seen, pretty cool personality as well. I just think you put him in more games and people will like him more. Suhao. Now I know it's a meme to meme or joke about how bad Suhao is, but actually his story is pretty interesting, and I know it's interesting because they reused it for Kano in Mortal Kombat 9. If you actually let his story play out, he was a mole within the special forces for the Red Dragon. I don't quite remember right off the top of my head what he actually did, but you know, obviously he did something that I'm forgetting, and that created the rivalry with Jax, which you don't really need to do that. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it'd be cool for Jax to have a rivalry with Kano, or for Jax to have a rivalry with Suhao, and Sonya to have the rivalry with Kano. So Jax is more on the Red Dragon side of things, while Sonya is more Black Dragon. Actually, that's kind of a cool idea. But yeah, just let his story play out, and people will see that he's not like a super stupid character. Kenshi, make him morally gray until he has Takeda. I don't really want Kenshi to be like this complete bad guy, or complete good guy, or complete bad guy. But I think with MK1 having the Yakuza aspect, I think that's really interesting, and it makes him a little bit morally gray, but they didn't really do that, and I think that's something that they should do up until he has Takeda. Once he has Takeda, then he can be a good guy, because I don't know, just having a child usually makes people in fictional stories become better. Yeah. And so, yeah, just don't make him like a complete a-hole or anything, but like make him a little bit more brutal. Maybe like a Robin Hood type figure. I think that'd be pretty cool for Kenshi, where he does. I mean, Robin Hood doesn't really do bad things, but like where Kenshi kind of does bad things for good people, for the lesser people, or not the lesser people as in they're worse people, but as in like people who are less fortunate. That kind of stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool for Kenshi. Frost, let us just see her relationship with Kuai Liang. Let us just like experience the mentorship and how she's been trained and all that stuff, so that when she falls to the dark side and all that, Anakin Skywalker style, that it actually is somewhat compelling and hits harder. Yeah. Then we got Mavado. Make him more Spanish inspired. And for the people who don't know Spanish, Spain is what I'm getting at there. I'm not saying he should be like Mexican or anything. Yeah, I really like this Spaniard aura. Like Ilia Topuria from the UFC. Just don't make Mavado short. Like Ilia, but I like that kind of aura, and I think if you lean into that with Mavado, I think that'd be pretty cool, because I think his name is Spanish inspired, Mavado. It means something, but I don't remember what it means. It means something though. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool for his character. Then we kind of have a 2-character-in-1, because I don't know, the changes I would make to them are so closely related to each other that I just make them the goofy evil duo. You don't have to make them like compelling characters or anything. Just make them a goofy evil duo who show up from time to time, get bodied, but are funny and stick around. Yeah. Then we got Lee May. Make her an activist. This might sound kind of weird, but I think she should be kind of like an Outworld activist, where she tries. Where she's a more down-to-earth character, where she's not like, I don't know, doing crazy things to try and usurp Shao Kahn or whatever, but she's just advocating for Outworld to be better, for Shao Kahn's rule to be lessened, or for someone new to come into play. And I don't want her to be like super on board with Earthrealm. Like, I want her to be like, she cares about Outworld and wants to change it for the better, but she's not just like completely on board for the Earthrealmers coming in and changing everything because she doesn't really trust them. I think that would be an interesting way to go with Lee May. Then we got Nitara. Make her an actual vampire. Give her actual vampire characteristics. A lust for blood. She doesn't really have that. She's not required to suck blood or whatever. Even give her the sun thing, where she burns in the sun, even though it wouldn't make sense for certain stages. I think that would just be cooler. Like, I don't know, I don't like that they're just like, well, she's a vampire, but actually she's not a vampire, she just has fangs and wings, which isn't even something vampires usually have. So yeah, just make her an actual vampire, that's what I'm asking. Boraicho, make him Shang Tsung's trainer too. I think this is something that might have been in like Conquest or something. I don't think it was Boraicho, it was a different trainer, but it was kind of like the same sort of thing where it's basically Boraicho. But I think he should also have been Shang Tsung's trainer, because I love storylines like the Obi-Wan Kenobi storyline where he trains someone, fails, they fall to the dark side and become the big bad, and then he has to train someone else to usurp the person that he failed to train the first time. I really like storylines like that, and they should do that with Boraicho. Blaze. Blaze is a character that's really hard to do this for, because it's just like, does anyone really care? Does anyone really like want Blaze to come back? Like, I've seen people legitimately ask for like people like Suhao to come back to be changed and made for the better, but I've never actually seen anyone be like, you know what, Blaze could be a pretty cool character if you did this or did that. Like, I feel like everyone just kind of agrees to just like leave Blaze behind. But if I were to change him, I'd make him more of a force than an actual character. So basically what I mean by that is like kind of like the Rage in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. I think I would kind of make him like an influence that possesses certain characters, and not necessarily a whole character within himself. but more just something that influences them to do certain things, to cause Armageddon or whatever. I think that would be probably the best way to go with Blaze's character. Mocap, turn him into Mysterio from Far From Home. I'm pretty sure I saw some fan art of this concept, but have him have moves where he like projects stuff and actually uses like the actual mocap part of mocap as a part of his moveset, because that's a way to make him kind of cool. But obviously this is never a character that should be taken seriously. Dairu, make him more tragic. He already kind of has a tragic backstory that's long and complicated, where his family is killed and I think he does something and then gets put in jail, and it's a long story. Maybe simplify the story a little bit, but make it more tragic, just so people can like not relate to him, but like feel sympathy for him more, and not just be like, wow, this character sucks. So yeah, just do something with him. I don't know. Darius, make him a fake out hero. This is something they kind of already did, but I don't think they fully realized it, where when the heroes arrive in Order Realm, I think it was Kenshi and Sub-Zero maybe? I don't know, there was a couple of characters that came to Order Realm for whatever reason. And they kind of met up with Darius and the rebels of the Order Realm. And I think he should kind of be a fake out hero, where it's like, oh yeah, we're working together to stop the bigger threats. Darius is a good guy and all that, because he wants to stop all the ruling and the strictness of the Order Realm. But in reality, he's actually not that great of a guy himself, and I don't know, wants to do something even worse with Order Realm, or maybe not even worse, but just just as bad or something like that. I don't know. These characters are hard to make better, if I'm being honest. Hotaru, I was shocked that he wasn't the leader of the Order Realm for whatever reason. For a longest time, I always thought he was the leader of the Order Realm, but it turns out he's just some general or some police officer or whatever who's just like really invested in it. So yeah, just turn him into the leader of the Order Realm. That'd be cooler. Or maybe even the god of the Order Realm, the protector god. Then we got Cobra and Kira. Once again, these characters are so tied to each other that I just wanted to put them into one. Turn them into siblings. I think this would be a cool dynamic, I guess. I don't know, maybe if they grew up on the streets together or whatever and were picked up by Cabal, because Cabal was the Black Dragon guy in the Deception. You get what I mean. So yeah, they were siblings who grew up together and all that stuff. I know there was like an ending in Armageddon, I think, where they were like together, like romantically. Yeah, if they're gonna be siblings, don't do that. Just turn them into siblings. I think that'd be cool. Then we got Havik. Stop making him evil. I mean, listen, he can be an antagonist, but Havik is not evil. Havik does not correspond to any label, alright? He's not like... He's not a person that's good or evil. He's just nothing. Like, he's not even neutral. He's just chaotic. That's the whole point of his character. So I think it's weird that they are making him evil in Chaos Reigns, are making him evil in the MKX comics. He just has very unpredictable morals and motivations. Like, just stop trying to put him into a box of a certain character. Ashrah, explore the relationship with Sareena. I think there's something that might have been explored. I think it was in the Johnny Cage movie. Yeah, that awesome Legends. I don't like those movies. Yeah, I think this is something that should be cool. Like, maybe Sareena feels like Ashrah abandoned her to be with Quan Chi or whatever, be subjected to awfulness. And yeah, but maybe eventually they get along again and they're friends. And then we have Shujinko. For Shujinko, make him a complete failure. I don't like that in Deception he comes back and kills Onaga or beats Onaga. Just making him a complete failure. Make his whole life mission to restore the Kamidogu or whatever. Make him just a complete failure that wasted his life away. Not that I hate Shujinko or anything, I just think this would be more interesting and more tragic. Onaga, make him a good leader for Outworld. I think this is another idea that was kind of explored a little bit in something that I'm not able to recall right now, but I think he should be like, I think Outworld should have been legitimately good without Shao Kahn. And Shao Kahn literally just wanted the power to rule over Outworld. So have Onaga be a good leader, who maybe with the Kamidogu and that whole thing, I think he should have been like the first to discover the Kamidogus, or the first like mortal, obviously, to discover that the Kamidogus exist. And so that kind of like drew him to them, and maybe he got influenced by the essence of the one being or whatever in his brain to put them all together and destroy everything. So yeah, Taven, make him a fraud. Like he already kind of is a fraud because he supposedly won in Armageddon, but like it just didn't do anything. So you know, maybe he is already a fraud, but just make him a fraud where there's nothing he could have done to stop Armageddon. Dagon, turn him into a cult leader type. I think this would be an interesting way to go with the character, where he's kind of like, I don't know, he's just kind of a weirdo. And he has like these weird, like, I don't know, almost like, I don't know, he has these prophecies. Maybe he's the kind of the one that comes up with this prophecy that Taven is like this guy that's going to stop Armageddon. It's all made up in his head. It's not actually real. I think that could be an interesting storyline to go. I don't really like Taven and Dagon, if I'm being honest. Like, Dagon is cooler, though, honestly. Scarlet. We're getting into the NRS characters now. Bring back her original backstory. Honestly, there's not really one change that you can make to Scarlet to make her a good character, because the one time she was in a story mode, she sucked and didn't do anything. But her original backstory was better, of her being created by Shao Kahn, and I like it better. So use that instead. That's a good first step. Cassie Cage, make her an MMA fighter. I like that part in the comic, the MKX comic, where she fought Frost in an MMA fight. I think that's cool. I think she should have been an MMA fighter before becoming a part of the Special Forces. Kind of like Johnny Cage in a way, where she had like this life, this career outside of Special Forces, but she kind of had to be dragged into it because of her relationship with Johnny and Sonya and all that stuff, and their expectations for her. Then we got Jackie, kind of the same thing. Make it so she hates her job, but only kind of does it because to support her family and to support her dad or whatever. Because, you know, I really like the storyline of Jack kind of being a disgruntled isn't the word. I forgot what the word is, but like a discharged, is that right? A discharged military person, officer, whatever, general, and that he needs support with mental health or money or whatever, and that's the only reason Jackie does it. So I think that'd be cool, even though realistically, if she was a part of this friggin' Mortal Kombat force to save the world and all that, she would be paid very well. But you can just like be like, nah, it actually doesn't pay well. Then we got Kung Jin. This one's gonna be weirdly specific. Make him into a hero who turns into a villain and then back to a hero. I really like these storylines, these types of storylines where they're a good guy, and then they turn into a bad guy, and then they turn back into a good guy. I can't really think of an example. I think maybe Archangel from the X-Men, or Angel from the X-Men. It's kind of a similar thing. Make him into a hero that kind of feels resentment towards the Shaolin or whatever for Kung Lao's death, or for other reasons, them rejecting him for his sexuality, or any of that stuff. Make that, like, all of that kind of stuff build up, and then he turns into a villain, but then he's restored back to being a hero once he realizes, hey, screw what they think about me, I can do the right thing. Takeda, make him more ninja-like. I really like the initial idea for Takeda, and I like how he is in the MKX comics, but I hate how they armored him up, gave him these stupid freaking mechanical whips and the lightsabers and all that stuff. I really don't like that part about him. I think they should have just made him more ninja-like, and how he is in the MKX comics. Really, this is kind of universal to all the Kombat Kids. I want them to be younger. Maybe not like 12. 12 is too young, obviously. But maybe like 17 to 19, in that range. I think that would be cooler. Because obviously it would make them more of kids, like literal Kombat Kids, which some people might find cringe, but I think it would make them more interesting characters rather than just characters that blend into the background of Mortal Kombat. Devora, make the Kaiten an actual kingdom. I think it should be something along the lines of the Shokan or the Centaur, where It's not the exact same level as those, because those are really prestigious or whatever, but it's kind of like an underground kind of kingdom, which it already kind of is, but I think it should be more major than that, and I think it should have like political stuff within Outworld's political climate, and yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting for them to actually have like some sort of leverage within Outworld's overall empire. I think that'd be pretty cool. Kotal Kahn, make him Outworld's Dark Raiden, where he's not evil per se. He rules it with an iron fist and does very questionable things for the overall betterment of the realm and for a guaranteed success and guaranteed safety. I think that's kind of what they were gonna go for, but then they just kind of like went and just made him not able to be taken seriously. So yeah, just don't screw it up this time. I really like how Kotal was in the MKX comics as well, so if there was a second thing I could change, it would just make him like how he is in the comics. Ferritor, this is like nothing character that I didn't really want to improve in any way, that I just want to get rid of, but if I had to improve, explore their dynamic more. I don't know, I guess it could be pretty interesting if, like, I don't know, Tor is dying in some way, and you legitimately get like a heartfelt scene where Farrah's like, no, Tor, don't die, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you, and all that stuff. I don't know, that could be interesting, I guess. I don't know, I don't care about these characters. Aaron Black, make him a fake out hero in quotes, because he's not actually gonna be a hero. It's more so like he's just not a bad guy. But I think it could be interesting. I would really like characters where it's like a red herring in some way. Maybe take MKX, for example, where Kotal knows that there's someone, a mole, that's working for Shinnok in my army or whatever, and everyone thinks it's Aaron Black, but it's actually D'Vorah. I think that could be cool because Aaron Black's got that traitorous aura to him, where he would do something like that for money. And yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. But then it actually just turns out that he's loyal to Kotal Kahn, at least for now. Then we got Triborg. Triborg hasn't actually been a part of the Mortal Kombat story, so I would have to integrate him into the story firstly. And I would turn him into the last remnant of the Cyber Initiative, maybe like a last protocol from Sector or something that has like all of the information from all of the different cyborgs and combines it into Triborg. And then maybe as a last sort of way to try and restore the Cyber Initiative, this version goes out, tries to cyberize Sub-Zero, tries to make Cyrax be what's the subordinates again, that's the word, try and restore Smoke, all that sort of stuff. I would turn it into like the last contingency plan of like Sector or the Grandmaster or whatever. Then we got Garrus getting into the MK11 characters. I stole this from Brusque Poet, so yeah, but because we don't like Chronica or any of the stuff surrounding her around these parts, make him just a construct of time, because Garrus is a pretty cool concept for a character. Just make him like sort of the representative of time within Mortal Kombat, the only representative of time within Mortal Kombat, because that'd be cool. Then we got Cetrion. Turn her, this is, by the way, also stolen from Brusque Poet, I think, but turn her into Edenia's protector god. I think it's the only way to make her character cool. Don't make her an elder god. That just, that just made everything so kind of whack. Yeah, just don't do that. And yeah, I mean, if you just look at her and with her powers and stuff, I think she would fit as Edenia's protector, because Raiden's really the only protector god we know of. Shao Kahn is also a god, but I don't know if he's like supposed to be the protector of Outworld. Maybe he is. I think maybe, even though he doesn't really enact in a way that's protecting it, I guess. But other than Outworld and Earthrealm, we don't really know of any other gods of any of the other realms. So I think for Edenia, it would be cool to have Cetrion just be a completely different character, basically, besides for design and moveset. Collector, this is going to sound very disrespectful, but I honestly mean this in a good way. Keep him as a crypt NPC instead of an actual character. I know this sounds like super disrespectful, but like I actually kind of like him as like a part of the crypt. Maybe there's a shop in the crypt that's now a part of every crypt going forward, and he's just a character that's there. That's just there at the crypt for you to use your coins to do whatever with. Even though technically you already use your coins to open chests and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe he's the one you get coins from. Well, no, that's just opening up a lane to microtransactions. We don't want to do that. I don't know. Just keep him as a crypt NPC. I think that'd be cool. Then we have Kronika. Deletes. All I have to say there. Subscribe to the channel, please. That would be very, very nice. Also, check out the links in the description to my merch store, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, make sure to give this video a like so that other people get to see it. And with that being said, that's for this video, my fellow oddities. I'll see you next time.